I am super excited to bring you into my new kitchen today at the new house and show you a little bit around. I'll give you a general overview shot here just so you can see a little bit because it's exciting. I did make some tweaks to the space before moving in. I swapped out the counters and the hardware a little bit. And the light fixtures, but otherwise, I mean, it's a beautiful space. It's arranged beautifully. It flows really well with the rest of the house. And this is quite honestly where we spend most of our time, me and my two little ones, in the new house, and we just love it. We love it so much. Today, what I wanted to do was take you into a couple of my cabinets, because that's what I'm working on right now, is cabinet organization. We've been living here a little while now, and I'm really starting to settle in, and I've given myself some time to kind of figure out the flow of things and where I want to grab. Like, you need time, I think, to figure out where you should have your spatulas and where where your spoons and forks should go, and what cabinet should your pots and pans go in, and that sort of thing. And I've kind of settled into that, and I thought I'd take you in today to a couple of spaces that I am currently working on. Just little things, but I thought it would be kind of fun to share and maybe inspire you to look at your own spaces if that's something that's interesting to you. So we're gonna look at spice organization. We're gonna look at kitchen, under the kitchen sink. That's always kind of an interesting one because of pipes and things that get in the way. And I bought some new products and I'm hoping will work out for that. Let's dive on in and I'll show you what I'm working on. Starting with this corner cabinet, which is located just to the right of my sink and to the left of my stovetop. So a very convenient place for all of my really most used cooking essentials, including spices, oils, vinegars, measuring cups, and kind of large measuring cups, to be honest. And then a few odds and ends at the top. There's some extra spices and things like that. I have these Lazy Susans that I actually had in my old kitchen for years and years that I just repurposed. And I used to have a double spice rack one, but it broke in the moving process. So I went ahead and purchased a new one. It's the exact same kind I had before by Made Smart. I think you can get them on Amazon. I happen to buy this at the Container Store. And basically I just take all of the spices out and take that old Lazy Susan out, which used to be a double, it's now just a single, and I'll repurpose it somewhere else in the home. And now I have room for all my spices. So I had kind of overflow in a little bin on the top shelf. Now they all fit very, very nicely with a little bit of room to spare here. When I moved, I did a huge purge of my spices, which was really helpful. I mean, I did a huge purge of everything, to be honest. And I made note of a few spices that I'm lacking that I really should add to my collection. So I repurposed that bin to put extra spices that I have doubles of, and used another bin I had on hand for popsicle molds that we actually use quite a bit in the summertime. So here's the completed look, all of my spices in one place. I thought about doing a spice drawer, but ultimately this is just a system that's worked well for me for years. And I keep my most used spices on the periphery and the ones that I don't use quite as often on the interior of the Lazy Susan. And I actually just have a really big garlic powder that's behind there, but eventually when that runs out, I'll get back to a regular size spice. But I've got all my oils and vinegars on the other ones. Like I said, everything else pretty much looks the same. Here's the sink. Obviously I showed you the sink, but the under the sink area, something I hadn't used any bins or anything to organize yet because I was kind of waiting to see if I could find something that might work to help me pull up some of the storage vertically a bit. The only organization I did implement was putting some command hooks in. I love command hooks, especially under the sink for my dish rag that I use to clean the counters, which I swap out every day. Kitchen gloves, the little dustpan, I use that multiple times a day because we make lots of crumbs. But here you can just see kind of a mess of stuff. I did purchase a few items for this, an under the sink organizer and a two-tier organizer and a mat. So I'm just gonna take everything out. I didn't put exactly everything back in that was in the under the sink area to begin with. Most of it went back in, and I just like when I organize anything, I just do a really thorough scrubbing of it. And one of the reasons I wanted this mat is because I knew that drips and things can happen sometimes, but also it's just nice to kind of keep the cabinets protected. I think I'm going to plan on lining all of the cabinets. Maybe not exactly with this material. This is a specific one that was apparently made for under the sink. I don't know. Hopefully it will, lie flat with time. But I go ahead and assemble this under sink expandable shelf organizer, which I actually first saw on Emily Norris's channel. She's one of my favorite like mommy cleaning YouTubers who likes, organization, cleaning, that kind of stuff, just like me. And I saw that she had an organization thing like this, and how she hung her most used cleaning bottles off of it. I was like, well, I need that, obviously. The only like tricky part of assembling this is like 8 screws, 4 on each side. It's not hard to assemble, but you have to assemble part of it in the cabinet to get it to go around the sink mechanism. So we have a insinkerator there, and I have an electric like a sensor sink, so there's a lot of wires and stuff for that. But at any rate, the only thing is, if somebody has to work on the sink, you'd have to take it apart to get it out, at least on one side. So that's something to consider, but I think that doesn't happen that often, hopefully, so I think it's worth it, and it gets everything off of the bottom and kind of keeps it up off of the bottom of the shelf, and opens up a little room. And like I said, I just really wanted to hang my cleaning bottles like she does, and I just think it's handy, and also just really, I'm just such an organization geek. I just think it's fun. So as you can see, I like to leave the labels on things until I'm absolutely sure I'm keeping them, but I do end up taking the label off that stacking drawer organizer. That was another thing I purchased from the Container Store. The expandable shelf I got on Amazon. I'll link everything for you down below if you want to check them out for yourself. But I put my dish towels and my cleaning microfiber cloths and all those things, and extra sponges in those drawers. I'll give you a better look in a minute. Decided I wasn't going to put my vinegar down there because I'm not using it as much lately for cleaning. I'm really just using water a lot, and it's working out really well. I don't know, I'll do cleaning updates soon. But here you can see a final look. I love the way this turned out. There's so much room. I could, even put more stuff in there if I wanted. This is just all I really need right now. I would say if you have very, very little kids, don't put any of them, like the dishwasher tabs and the cleaning products, down that low. But now that we're 2.5, I feel pretty confident, and Donnie's pretty safe with those things. But yeah, you just have to consider that. I didn't keep any of that kind of stuff down below until we moved, so it works out really well. But I can really easily access the things that I change out, my dish towel and my counter rag every day, so it's nice to have those drawers for easy access. I love the way it turned out. I hope you enjoyed seeing the kitchen a little bit and getting a sense of that space, and also what I'm working on with the organization of it right now. I'll be sharing more about kitchen I'll probably do a full kitchen organization video at some point, and take you through. I'm just in process still, and I just am excited to share how that's unfolding, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it in that way. And there's lots more to come, so stay tuned for that, and I hope you are all well. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care. Bye, guys.